Alright, I'm Colwen. I'm back on a Transformers review, and today I've got three guys to talk about. We've got Classics Generation Scourge, which was released in 2010. We've got Titans Return Scourge, which came out in 2016. And then we've got the newest Scourge, the Studio Series Transformers the Movie 86, released in 2021 Scourge. They went through a lot of differences to get from this guy to that guy, and they're all great figures. So let's go ahead and get into it with the oldest one of the group. Let's go ahead and put these two guys back here for right now, and let's talk about the 2010 Scourge. Dude, when this thing came out, people lost their minds for it. At its time, great articulation, and the articulation still holds up. It's got a ball-jointed neck with a huge range of motion. He's got this awkward universal jointed shoulder system that kind of puts his shoulder on a hinge, but it still gets you all the posability you want. He's got an above-the-elbow swivel. He's got a huge, nice 90-degree knee elbow bend. Wrist swivel. He has a wrist swivel. He's got a waist swivel even. Ball jointed hips, nice thigh swivel, mainly for transformation, but that is a huge knee bend. And he's got really nice multi-hinged ball jointed ankles with, like, there's another hinge inside the leg that kind of helps to maneuver the ankle around a bit. Now, does he look anything like his original 1986 Scourge? No, he looks nothing like these guys. Those guys, their alt mode was like a space canoe. His alt mode, which we'll get into it later on after we do the transformation, but he turns into like a Boeing experimental blended wings space shuttle thing. And as you can see, like, even the wings make kind of a weird backpack, but like they hinge up and out of the way and they look nice. And there's a lot of things you can do with the wings actually. You can spread them out and then open them up. And I have like this cool little cape thing going on. Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff with this guy. And his gun's really nice. It's it disconnects into two pieces. And you can have this one be another gun, kind of like his Target Master was. And it folds up so it can get put away in storage. And top of his head, he does have a 3mm clip. So he can have a pompadour of gun doom. We're going to go ahead and just leave him like that for now. And we're going to put him over here in the back. Titans Return Scourge. This one, I want to say, was a heavy retool of the highbrow mold. Mainly because of the way it transforms and folds in on itself. But it was good for when it came out. It was a nice, respectable figure. It's got the Titan on top. That's a nice looking head sculpt, especially compared to the other ones. Like, all the other ones, their head sculpts are all pretty decent. He's got a bad habit. The 2010 one has a bad habit of falling backwards because he's got that heavy wing backpack. But as you can see, their head sculpts are all pretty nice. The Titan Return one tends to be a bit more boxy because of the Titan Return gimmick. Nice silver and blue and light blues all over. He's really leaning more towards the movie version of Scourge. And of course, we've got the Titan gun, which you can use to put a little Titan figure on, have a little vehicle to fly around. Articulation wise, he's got the kind of swivel head thing going on. Like, the head articulation on Titan Return figures is always a little janky, but hey, it's alright. He's got a ball jointed shoulder with an up and down hinge built into the torso. He's got a under the shoulder swivel. He's got a nice 90-degree elbow bend. No wrist articulation except for what he uses for transformation. No waist articulation due to the transformation, actually. He's got proper universal jointed hips. Above, at the hip swivel. Nice knee bend. Like, not the hugest knee bends, but enough. And down at the bottom, he doesn't have ankle rockers, but you can open and close his feet to help with that stuff. And yes, his feet do become the front of the spaceship. Let's put him back there. And this one, oh my goodness, this guy, right about to start complimenting this guy, and he wants to fall over, huh? He was really worth the 10-year wait between 2010 and 2021 because articulation, posability, the vehicle mode, oh my goodness, so much cool stuff happened with this guy. So take a look at his quick look at his backpack here. Like, yeah, he's got this big bulky backpack that's like 50%, 60% of his alt mode, but like he wears it really nicely, and you can actually pull these down and have that be a longer cape to kind of drag the ground a little bit if you're so inclined. He did come with an effect piece. You can plug that on the tip of his blaster gun, and again, blaster gun's very nice. He's got a nice looking blaster gun. It's got the handle, it's got the peg port on the side so you can store it on stuff. Siege ports, he's got them. He's got one on each shoulder, one on each forearm, one on the back with the thruster ports. You can peg the effect parts on all kinds of little pegs. There's siege ports on the side of his cape, which that becomes the side of his boat, side of his spaceship mode. Siege port on the lower leg, siege port on the bottom of the foot. Oh yeah, you can load this guy up with weaponry and weaponizer, guys. Let me take your gun away for a moment, and he looks like he's straight out of the movie, dude. Like the nice sharp chest and the colors and the Decepticon logo in the middle and the sharp claws. It's very nice. I like that they did one fist and one clawed hand. Articulation wise, the head is still a little restricted, but you can get the nice 360 turnaround look where... Oh, I was not aware of that. His crest thing can turn around. Is it supposed to be like that? Is it supposed to be facing forward like that? I don't know. We'll leave it like that for right now, though. That is interesting. I'm discovering things. Continuing on, though, we've got a waist joint. We've got universal jointed hips. We've got an above the knee swivel that can actually just outright disconnect the leg. Yes. Actually, this is interesting. So, like, the back here becomes matching with the shape of the leg, but on the other side of that peg, it's rounded off to kind of like close things in. I like that. That's a neat little engineering touch right there. The shoulders are also universal jointed. There is an under the shoulder, well, actually it's about mid upper arm swivel. We've got a nice elbow, and we got wrist swivels. Very nice knee bends. Nothing below the knee, though we do have ankle rockers, kind of. They're enough that you're not going to be having them stock straight up. You can get the A pose going on, and we've got front toes and back toes, mainly for transformation, actually. So, let me get these guys, come on, straighten up. And of course, you can do a bunch of different stuff with his capes. He's got hinge there, all kinds of hinges in his cape. Can bring in our Film Noir Spider-Man and our soda can. Let me bring in their brother-in-arms, the Cyclonuses. Actually, really, it's these would be the comparison here. Not with these guys. and my car robots. So let's go ahead and get into transformation. We're going to go ahead and put these two guys over here, and we're going to take Classic Scourge, take his guns, fold them up. This gun goes in this wing, and the spots are actually specifically molded for the weapon. You're not going to be able to confuse up which side goes where. Now, be careful here. This dark blue hinge has a habit of popping out of the dark blue part. So you're going to grab it by both sides of the wing here and shift together like that. Did you see that? You want it to look like this. And even that's actually not a bad way to display your wings. And to keep going, we're going to come down here to the hands. You're going to want to straighten the hands out to where they're facing downwards towards this slide bar here. And you're going to grab that and slide it back. Yeah, you can push the fists in, but you're going to use that to pull the fist out anyways. Then, come up here to the shoulder. This was really, really cool for the time. Pull it out. Twist it upwards. Oh, no. Twist it backwards. This little tab here gets in the way. So, pull it outwards. Twist it backwards and around. Push it back in. Twist the forearm around. This slot here is going to go onto that tab here. And then that tab is going to go into a slot on the back arm there. And there we go. So let me take the forearm, twist it to where it's like this, okay? Pull out the upper arm, twist it backwards so you can get past that little tab. Push it back in, tab that down, tab that down. And now you can have his rocket punch mode. He's taken lessons from the cartridge guys, Rumble and Ravage. He's gonna crack the shell. So, if we're done with that, take the arms and pull them outwards, and they're gonna hinge down, and they're gonna kind of just leave them here for right now, and then take the waist, rotate the waist around 180. Take the feet, and you're going to push the feet backwards into the lower legs. Turn the legs to where the bottoms are facing each other, and then push them backwards. And you got this double hinge on the inside here, and that's going to hinge the thigh inwards like that. And then this panel here that was on his butt in robot mode has these little tabs, and that's going to clip in there and there. See? Like this. And now we've got his weird flying mermaid mode. Yeah. Kind of reminds me of the USS Voyager almost. So after those things are hinged up, we're going to bring the entire chest down. Oh, is that, yeah, that needs to be loose. Bringing the chest downwards. Is it far enough? And after the chest is brought downwards, you can collapse the arms onto the side of the torso. Look how this, like, all the robot parts are becoming vehicle parts. There is no random panels. The head here, we're going to take the head and we're going to turn it forwards into the torso. Now, there is this little part here that's going to get pushed down. Like that, you see? And then this plate here, we got this double hinge. So in robot mode, it's up like this. We've got these double hinges here, so we can twist this all around and line that up and just peg that all in and clip. We got these parts here. It's going to go on there like that. And here we have the Boeing X-38 swept wing space shuttle design thing going on here. And dude, look at that undercarriage. That undercarriage is clean and smooth. Like, oh my goodness. We've got 3mm clip on the back of the head, and you can actually mount weapons down here on the bottom And we've got some little landing gear that we can fold out. Come on. Yeah. So we can place it down on the table. Very nice swept wing design. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the wings a little bit so that I can kind of have him, you can have the wings down like bird of prey style. Somebody needs to repaint this in green. I should get another one and do them in green. Continuing on with transformations, we've got the Titans Return one. Let's go ahead and pop the head off. Let's go ahead and get the gun out. And this guy is going to pretty much explode and then re-implode on himself. So we're going to put the fists away. We're going to pull the whole torso, the whole leg. Did you see that? This thing right here pulls this whole thing out, because like if you don't, you can actually look here in the cockpit for the this whole thing goes up inside. So it locks in place. Keep that closed for right now. We're going to open up the back of the legs. We're going to close up the feet. Close up the feet. Open up the back of the legs. And then, okay, so how is this? This is going to be the top. You're going to need to turn this around. And using the universal jointed hinges, bring the legs backwards on themselves. Did you see that? I think I might have messed up, because those hips have to face a specific direction so that everything pegs in place. Because if they're facing the wrong way, things won't settle into place. This little here looks like it's just an empty space, but no, it's actually supposed to go onto that tab there. So push up the entire shoulder so you can tab that down like so. Entire shoulder goes up. Tab that down. Now we can take the backpack and just close it down over. But even that, there's tricks. Because we've got this little slot here and this slot here back on the shoulder for these tabs. Oh, there we go. There we go. And we can go ahead and open up that and get a better look at the Titan Master in his robot mode. Very, very much like the other Titan Masters. And just stick them down in the cockpit. Close that up. Now, unfortunately, I'm supposed to have another little blaster go up here on top to mimic this thing in the to mimic that thing in the vehicle mode, but I don't got that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick his other gun right there, and it'll be fine. But like, there's his vehicle mode right there. It's just a straight up space wedge, space pie. And we got all the stuff down here on the bottom, and you can fold this down and use that to kind of stand him up, and that can be a little blaster gun down there if you're so inclined. And he does have the little pegs so you can stand Titan Masters on him, and he's got ports to plug stuff in. Oh yeah, nah, the 2016 Titan Master thing, he good stuff, he good stuff. Can I get you to stand up? There we go. That'll let him stand up. There we go. Put him over here in the corner. There we go. And we can get into this guy. Another one of those guys that seems intimidating, but he really isn't actually when you get into him. Question is, how do I get into him? So I've already straightened out his back a little bit, so that's all clean out of the way. Get that out of the way. Just get this stuff out of the way for right now. Come here to the feet. Fold in the toes. Come up here to the arms. And, these wings need to hinge outwards and away. This backpack needs to come up and out. And then this thing is going to hinge up. You're going to turn the head around. Make sure the thing is facing the right direction. Oh, I don't need to turn the head around, do I? No, there's going to be something else that'll come up for that. Okay, hold on. There we go. Put that there. This. Bring the arms down. And seems intimidating, but isn't. So this part's up in here. When you have this up here like this, make sure it comes down with it. And that hinges together, so you can unhinge this part. And then we can use that to cover us face up when we go to vehicle mode. Speaking of vehicle mode, take that back panel and lay it down flat. Everything's gonna stretch out. See, we got all these hinges back here that needs to get all stretched out and straightened out and smoothed out. You see that? So we went from collapsed up like this, pulling that out, straightening everything out, covering up the face, and now we've got this thing. And then we're going to take the legs. There's two little pegs on the side of the legs there, two little peg holes right here, and we're going to lay that down on there like that. There we go. So the vehicle mode is basically all exploded all out right now. We've got in the forearms, we've got these screw holes that are also transformation slots. So that goes on there, that goes on there, and like on the hip, there's these little bulges that fit in these little holes on the underside of the shoulder assembly. There we go. So yeah, he just lowers everything. All his robot smoke just melts down into the lower back end of the jet of the vehicle mode, and then we can take all this and we can collapse it back. He is absolutely a shell former, but he's a shell former done correctly. We've got these round pieces on the back of the cape that need to be opened up and brought down. And yeah, these little side panels here are fighting me a little bit, but I'm going to call that finished. We can flip up these. We can peg the gun on the side here and look at... Oh. There we go. Look at that. That is straight out of the 86 movie. He is his space canoe mode. We've got these panels down here on the bottom that are used to cover up the torso. But like again, there's the arms, there's the legs, but he doesn't need to look like anything. It's cool. Let me open up his feet back here. Prop them up like this and stick them in the back here, and give me a moment. So we've talked about the robot modes, we've talked about their alt modes, their transformations. Let's bring them back up a little bit and bring in the size comparisons. We've got Cyclonus, we've got other Cyclonus, we've got my Film Noir Spider-Man and the soda can. Get better look at the direct opposition guys, or the comparison guys. These guys go together, and these guys go together. Did They did do a Titans Return Cyclonus, but I did not pick that one up. Was not interested. And we've got, of course, the car robots. So should you pick up any of these guys? Honestly, I think you should pick up one of each, because they're all really fun, good figures. Try and get your Titan Return one with the proper gun and all that. But yeah, dude, like, this one's got the somewhat realistic looking vehicle mode with still a really good robot mode. That one has the Titan Return compatibility, so it's got all the accessories and all the interchangeabilities and the heads and all that. And this one's just straight out of the movie. And, like, it's Scourge and the sweeps, so, like, why not have multiple versions? In fact, I would very much so like to see them do another take on the sweep mold at some point. But yeah, it's really cool to see how it went from 2010 to 2021 and the one in between. So this has been Colwen talking about Transformers Classics, Generation Swoop, Titan Return Swoop, and Studio Series 86, the movie Swoop. All great figures. Thanks for watching.